Let's go through some of the Epoch Times news, and I'm going to go through from the 4th now to current to today. Just a couple headlines. South Korea has over 6,000 coronavirus cases, including 2 more military dependents. Coronavirus live updates outbreak could cost airlines $113 billion. Chinese media spread fake news, negative propaganda against the U.S. coronavirus outbreak. Independent tribunal finds Chinese regime still killing prisoners of conscience for their organs. Yeah, they're still doing that. They've been doing it for decades. They've had contacts inside China of 20,000 lie-dye camps. They tissue type and grab their organs. Trump administration asks airline for more information on travelers for coronavirus tracing. Just tracing their temperature is not adequate. They can be pre-symptomatic for 2 or 3 weeks, carrying the virus and spreading to others. Especially younger people and children may not even get seriously sick, but they're going to spread like crazy. They'll be super spreaders. House passes $8.3 billion bill to fight the coronavirus. That's good, but you got to know where you're putting the money. It should be into these trailers and hazmat teams, and setting up what's called the Biophilia Scan and immediate PCR. The Bill Gates Foundation has one where you can get the swabs, and it'll take a day or 2 to actually find out. You need to have something much more rapid that can be done. Say with the gentleman in Berlin has developed a test that can tell you at least confirmatory within a couple hours, an hour or 2, rather than waiting for a full day or more. Shortage of Chinese parts caused $50 billion fall in February's global export, and of course March is going to be much worse. And of course the oil markets today dropped. The stock market dropped 2,000 points today. Yesterday, which is March 9th. China goes on propaganda offensive with positive coronavirus response stories. Fed lowering interest rates will not have long lasting impact on economic growth. In other words, lowering interest rates is not going to fix things. And of course, a lot of the problem is a lot of people cannot afford to be missing a couple paychecks. So the people that don't have health care, people that can't miss a couple paychecks, it's going to cause economic chaos, and a lot of people will not even have basic supplies of food. In China, what they're doing is charging 4 times as much for rotting vegetables to give to people. And so they're basically starving in these communities where they've locked them and welded them in their buildings, or don't allow them to go out and get food. So we need to have a system to make sure food is distributed properly to people, or if they haven't sorted. I recommend you have multiple layers, like we have legacy emergency food for long term. Get canned and for dry pack foods. You can go to major places like Walmart or Costco and whatever. Do that now rather than waiting until disaster strikes, because you may not be able to leave your home for months or a number of months. Czech Prime Minister says China's ambassador should be replaced. Yeah, because what they did is they threatened the Czechs. That's not a good situation. And Apple sells fewer than 500,000 smartphones in China in February amid coronavirus. So yeah, their sales of these things, which are usually phenomenal and many millions, is only 500,000, less than 500,000. As one of China's Detroit reopens, because Obey is one of the basically Detroits of the world, more cars manufactured now than Detroit ever was. And the world's automakers worry about disruptions. Funeral home directors in China hospitals have sent bodies with the cause of death as unidentified pneumonia. Businesses in China City are reluctant to reopen due to lack of masks, disinfectant, and internal documents. Hong Kong pro-democracy protesters hold vigil to mourn students' death. North Korea continues to violate UN sanctions with China's help.